Crazy Crab in the house. And today I want to share some of my thoughts regarding The Last Jedi and what if the movie was pretty much what it was, which was not good, but let's just say some of the atrocities were actually fixed. Some of the common sense atrocities that are obviously stupid ideas and horrible ideas, let's just pretend just three of them were actually done right, like Ivan Ortega is doing. Now, he's fixing more than three things. He's fixing probably a million things. I mean, there's so much in this movie he's fixing. It's ridiculous. He's going to make it, in my opinion, he's going to make it good. I don't think he can make it great because he's only human, and that movie is, I don't know if you can make it great, but he will make it good. But I'm just wondering, let's just take three things that they could have done differently, and I think it would have actually made a world of freaking difference. Just three little things, and the rest was the same. All of a sudden, many of the things I complain about, while still bad, suddenly become more forgivable. Let me explain. Number one, Luke dying at the end. Okay, now I was really hoping hard that Ivan would make this change, and he did. At the end of the movie, as we know, in the original crap version, Luke dies. He disappears. I guess the moment is somewhat dramatic, but it doesn't really work when we're talking about a character of that magnitude. It did more harm than good in killing him off like that. So Ivan instead has Luke bravely, heroically sits back up after he's survived somehow an almost unsurvivable demonstration of skill by force projecting himself. He sits up. He looks at the binary sunset like back on Tatooine. He survives. And then, boom, the credits hit. Absolutely breathtaking. All of a sudden, if that happens, does that mean the force projection was a good idea now? No. Does it mean that the way Luke was handled in the movie is suddenly a good idea? No. But how would I have felt when those credits hit if it went like that, instead of Broom Boy Dead Luke style? I would have been touched. I would have felt something. I would have had chills. I would have thought, holy crap, they're coming to get Luke and he's going to be a major player in person for the next movie. It wouldn't have saved the movie from bad reviews and from being disappointing, but I know I personally would have been much more forgiving about the stupid force projection idea, because now it was a badass moment. He had no choice. It was the only way he could get there and help. He found a way to hone into the force and project himself on Crate, and then after his projection, he fights and fights. He sits up, he looks at the sun, boom, dun, 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 movie over. How much better would you have felt? Maybe it wouldn't have saved the movie. Not maybe, it would not have saved the movie. But I know I would have felt much better walking out. Number two, Finn's sacrifice. Fixed. In this infamous piece of shit scene, several things go wrong. We have Finn, an established character who I think we all kind of like, but he's shown himself to be, a little bit cowardly maybe. He was used to be a stormtrooper. He wasn't really all in with the Resistance at first. He was just kind of trying to get away from the First Order. He wasn't interested in working for them, but he really wasn't necessarily interested in working with the Resistance either. But later he eventually warms up to the Resistance, and even though we're not really sure where his priorities lie sometimes, he's anyway, in this scene, he's going to make this decision. He's going to show us he's in for real. He's a true hero. He's going to sacrifice himself. He's going to give his character so much weight. He's going to become a hero in Star Wars lore. He's going to destroy the First Order's attack. He's going to give the rebels a chance to escape and maybe be victorious in the end. Amazing scene that could happen here. As his ship starts getting closer and closer, it's starting to melt from the heat. Things are getting really intense. Now, I'll admit I already knew. I didn't know 100%, of course, but I was like, something's about to go down. Because I already figured Rian Johnson's style out. Shock us every chance, mislead us at every chance. So I'm waiting for maybe an enemy to shoot him down at the last second, which would have been not surprising, not the end of the world. It's like, okay, saw that one coming, not that big a deal. Movie goes on. Instead, something a million times more horrific happened, and it was Rose who T-bones him. And then when he's like, "Well, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?" Oh my gosh. Oh God. I can't even say it. You've all seen it. You've all seen it. It's my opinion that this was the worst moment in the history of Star Wars. No, it was the worst moment in the history of film, okay? And Ivan is fixing it. So then instead of Rose, it's an enemy ship who takes him down. And of course, they would want to take him down. They need to take him down. Look what he's about to do. It would make sense for them to take him down. It would not make sense for Rose to take him down. Why would she? She's presented as this hardcore, rebellion first, no matter what type character. And why would she stop what he's doing? Probably kill both of them, unless she's such a skilled pilot that she knows how to take him down just right so that it doesn't kill them both, which I don't know why she's able to do that. I thought she was like an engineer, but anyway, that's beside the point. Why would she do that anyway? She didn't know Luke was coming or that his image was coming. It's all bad. So anyway, point is, what if the original version had it like Ivan's version and the enemy shoots him down? He's like, oh, damn, I'm shot down. I'm not saying I would have liked it, but hey, it would have been a million times better than that freaking scene they put. The scene they put just made me feel sick. Made me feel sick to my stomach. Unbearable, disgusting, insufferable, sickening scene. Number 3, Akbar instead of Holdo. The Holdo sacrifice scene at the time, even the first time, was nothing more than moderately cool, I guess. You know what I mean? When it should have been an epic, powerful, meaningful moment that took our breaths away, it was not like that. Why? Because Holdo was a bitch that nobody liked. She was an annoying SJW character that nobody liked. In that sense, the best part of the scene was that, hey, at least we don't have to see her anymore. I feel bad. I'm happy that she's dead. What the heck? In Ivan's version, she is maybe still annoying, but she's more tolerable, and instead of her being the one to make that sacrifice by going into lightspeed into the enemy ship, it is Akbar. So imagine we're sitting in the theater watching The Last Jedi for the first time. So far, the humor's not great. It's kind of weird. We're just waiting for something to happen. Akbar and his small team, they stay on the ship to mislead the First Order. The rest of the Resistance is off to Crate. And Akbar, prepare the jump to lightspeed. What the freak is going on here? Then Hux, fire on that cruiser! And then Akbar, may the Force be with us. And bam! I just get chills thinking about it. This is Ivan's version, and if it went that way in the original, the whole theater would have felt a tremble in the Force. Would this have turned a bad movie into a good movie? No, but it would have been a moment that meant so much. A moment that The Last Jedi contained. It would have been a major redeeming factor. In conclusion, these 3 scenes, and keep in mind, Ivan is changing much more than 3 scenes. But if just these 3 scenes would have been done differently, common sense ideas, anyone with half a brain would absolutely recognize that these were better ideas than what was actually done. Even the Last Jedi lovers, the people who say the movie is brilliant and perfect the way it is, really, let me ask them a question. Let's just say the movie isn't done yet. And let's just say one of these people who love the movie, let's just say back when the movie was in production and they got the opportunity to come on set and give Rian Johnson some advice, because Rian Johnson decided, hey, I want a true, regular Joe, everyday Star Wars fan to have some say in this. And I want to hear that person's opinion. I want to get some perspective from a regular old fan. So Rian Johnson picks a fan or has a fan, wins a contest, and that fan gets to come on set. And Ryan says, hey, it's nice to meet you. I want you to help me with a few decisions. And that fan's like, okay. Number 1, I'm having some trouble deciding, should I, after Luke's force projection when we're back on the island, should I have him kind of struggle, but somehow, some way, with his Jedi spirit survive? He sits up, he looks into the sunset, like back on Tatooine, and have the movie in there with Luke surviving and ready to help with the fight in Episode 9, and it cuts out. Dun, 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 dun. Or, my other thought was, should I have him die and disappear into the Force, and then we're going to cut to this little broom boy back on Canto Bight, and he'll look into the sky with stars in his eyes, and we end like that. What do you think? That fan, even if it's one of these fans that loves The Last Jedi and thinks it's perfect, I don't care. That fan at that time would have said, are you being serious with this question? Number 1, Ryan, Luke survives. Fuck the broom boy, okay? And then Ryan says, okay, thank you, I'll do that. Also, I'm having some trouble with the Akbar scene on how I should handle him. Now I'm having trouble. Should I either have him unceremoniously die in the explosion that Leia survives, and then I'm thinking of having this Holdo character, the one with purple hair, she'll be the big hero later, and she's going to send herself into light speed into the enemy ship and sacrifice herself so that the resistance can escape. It's going to be a really big moment. Or should I have Akbar not die in the original explosion, but have him be the one to sacrifice himself in that big moment? Are you kidding? The person would say. The Last Jedi lover would have said. You need to use Akbar doing that sacrifice. Akbar, Akbar, Akbar. Not this weird purple. What the hell? No, 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 no. Every Last Jedi lover today, if they had that question posed to them back in the day, would have said Akbar. They'd say Ryan. It would hold so much more power. It would be so much more meaningful. It would make the film 100 times better. Ryan, you gotta use Akbar. Not this weird lady. And lastly, this is what Ryan would say. Oh yeah, and I'm also thinking of this scene where you see Finn sacrifices himself here at the end, or he's trying to anyway. I'm thinking maybe Rose kind of slams into him with her plane, and she kind of T-bones him and stops his sacrifice on Crate. And then when he asks, why'd you do that? She'll say, we'll win by saving the ones we love. And then she'll kind of kiss him awkwardly because he doesn't really kiss back, and he's just like, what the hell just happened? So I'm thinking of doing that. Or we could just have an enemy shoot him down, and then he's like, oh, I've been shot down, and then that's that. But either way, I want him to survive because I want him to be in the next movie. Which one of those two ideas do you think is better? Every one of them would say, Ryan, please don't do that first thing you said. That sounds awful. Oh my gosh, just have the enemy shoot him down. If those are our only two options, oh my goodness. Please don't do that first thing you said. Of course, now that it's been done and they have to defend it, they say, oh, I don't think it was that bad. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. Nobody can like that scene. Nobody can like that scene. I'm sorry. Except Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy. There are two people in the world that like that scene. There are two people in the world that like that scene. Their names are Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy. If that's not your name, you do not like that scene. If you think you do, I can help you. Please get in touch with me and we'll talk it through. So anyway, let me close by saying there's enough good footage in this movie that a good movie is in there, I think. It's in there. You just got to extract it, cut out all the crap, fix it up, and I really think it can be done. Because just these three things I mentioned, if The Last Jedi and everything else is the same, and these three common sense things would have been done the way that I mentioned here today, the way that Ivan's going to do it, I'm telling you, I'll walk out of that theater thinking, you know what, it had some powerful moments. I feel okay, I didn't love it, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Had way too much SJW crap in it. The plot was really weird, but there were some great moments, and I just feel a lot better. I'd say something like that. And all the people who claim they love this movie, I'm talking about the ones who actually do love it, who are telling the truth, they would have loved it even more. Whether they want to admit it or not, they would have loved it even more. Whatever they're feeling now would have been enhanced tenfold if this movie would have been done right. I really believe that. Just these three things, for instance, they would have felt way better about it. This movie could have been something amazing. It's there. It's in the trailer. You see the potential, and the potential was thrown away. It was thrown away in the trash. It's so sad. It's a sad deal. The decisions were poor. The filmmaking in most areas was very weak. I don't think it's a matter of opinion. I mean, sure, whether you like the movie or not is an opinion, just like you might like your 3-year-old's drawing that he made for you. Does that mean it's a great drawing? No. It's probably a very poor drawing, but you love it anyway because it makes you happy, it makes you feel good. Your little 3-year-old made you a drawing and you love it, and that's wonderful, and I'm happy that you love the drawing. But you could still admit it's not a great drawing, and this is not a great movie. It's a plotless, pointless, SJW-driven piece of garbage with some very beautiful visuals, great effects, and some nice scenes every now and then, and some powerful, potentially powerful moments every now and then. And only a brilliant mind, well, it doesn't have to take a really brilliant mind, honestly, but the more brilliant the better, obviously, and a brilliant mind who also happens to be a video editing expert, that much we need, can fix it. And we have a brilliant mind because Ivan is absolutely brilliant, and with his video editing expertise, he's able to fix it. Now, if you have an average mind, let's just say my mind, average at best. If I was a video editing expert, I certainly could make The Last Jedi better. I certainly could do that. Can I make it as good as Ivan? Hell no. But I could make it better. It doesn't take much to make this a better movie. You don't have to be a genius to make this a better movie. You just have to know how to do it. And that takes video editing expertise that I don't have. I'm just learning how to use things like Premiere and stuff. But anyway, we're lucky we have Ivan, and I want to say thank you so much to Ivan's parents for hooking up, because without y'all, this wouldn't have been possible. That's probably inappropriate. See you guys later. Have a good one.